Firelight flickering danced through the ballroom, painting the mirrors with rivers of flame. She stood, unmoving, her smile unshaken, watching it rise as the world came undone. Crashing came crystals and voices were screaming. Silk became ash in the grip of the blaze. Still she was laughing, her eyes full of wonder, drawing him close as the smoke kissed their skin. Lips met in fury while glass rained around them. Flames licking high as the heavens grew dark. What led to ruin began with a whisper. Velvet, deception, and two hearts on fire. The heat today has reached a record high, the blackouts rolling on. Be safe, my friends. The man upon the screen flickered out. A cigarette hung glowing softly now between the lips of one well-dressed and calm, lighting his face while gently he adjusted his tie and asked aloud, "Are you prepared?" A striking woman stepped out from the dark, her figure wrapped in dress of midnight hue. Her tanned face sharp with angles clearly drawn, her long black hair cascading past her frame. God, she is beautiful. A woman needs more time than brutish men to make herself presentable. She smiled, he took her arm, and tossing cigarette she snatched from him and flicked it through the window carelessly. Regardless, we are surely to be late. Fashionably so, she playfully replied. They stood outside their host's impressive home, awaiting to be announced. She knelt upon the step, examining the wilted flowers crowded in the beds. A brittle flower crumbled at her touch. Everything here is dead, she softly said, examining the petals in her palm. The beauty of the earth reduced to dust. She brushed her hand behind her ear, releasing a fragrant wave that clouded the man's mind. He cleared his throat, suggesting gently that crouching in gardens lacked propriety. The door swung open, a young man appeared to guide them inside, gracefully and calm. The home's interior stunned every sense. Anything less would be a slight to its charm. On trays, abundant food untouched remained, while finely dressed guests floated idly by, drifting along through empty conversations. He proudly took her arm and led her in, displaying her as though she were a prize. This was his world, his element indeed. Then suddenly the lights went dark around. Guests murmured slightly. This was nothing strange, yet unexpected was the orange glow. Through the windows, rising quickly, fiercely bright, each eye inside turned outwards toward the blaze. Now roaring flames consumed all in their path. The man drew back his gaze from fiery death to see her standing calmly by his side, her smile illuminated by the flames. "It's beautiful," she whispered softly then, the fire reflected clearly in her eyes. The panic erupted, flooding through the hall. All false civility dissolved at once. Once elegant guests clawed and pushed and fought, desperate to flee toward their own escape. "We need to go," he spoke with steady tone, though turmoil surged within his restless heart. The wealthy scrambled, trampling in their haste, yet she remained, her eyes ablaze with life. She gripped his tie and drew his face to hers, their lips locked tight in fierce, impassioned kiss. Together they embraced amid the glass, the shards like stars exploding in the air. The scorching heat caressed his skin. Then came a brief, sharp pain, and afterward, just dark. Thank you so much for watching. You made it this far. Why don't you give those two all-important buttons a little click? Help us flourish. Leave a comment if you would like to either feed or demolish my ego. And if you want to write along with us next month, the prompts are liminal horror, office worker, and hammer. So yeah, bye.